Left of the box. My brain's a little fried with this. Is this shocking? No. Kind of saw that this was coming. And, I'm Canadian, so I'm going to add that perspective into it. I'm not entirely sure if Mark Carney has said anything about it yet, but I will be checking Twitter and sources throughout this live stream. So you're going to be seeing a lot of what I'm doing live. I don't normally cover these sorts of things live because I like to gather information, but given the nature of this, if there's some people that are worried, some people that just want to be around others, learn about what's going on in real time, I want to make my space available to you so you don't feel so alone in this moment, because it is pretty substantial. And, it's not like Canada is, not guilty of any of this rhetoric. And I reminded myself of a video, and I found it, so I will play it for you, of, remember we had an election not too long ago, and I was saying during that I'm not necessarily a fan of Mark Carney. And in my regular news live stream that I was planning on doing tomorrow, and I'm still planning on doing tomorrow, I will elaborate on that fact that I am really not a fan of Mark Carney anymore. Not that I ever was, but I was cutting him some slack. And before the election, I was saying, it's important to go out and vote. I'm not a fan of the Liberals, not by a long shot, but it was a matter of choosing which battle you wanted. And under the Liberals, the fight was going to be to improve the way things were. But under the Conservatives, the fight was going to be maintaining our rights. And as much as I dislike the Liberals, as much as they're very complacent in what was happening in Gaza, and they were selling arms to Israel and all that sort of stuff, the Conservatives would have been worse. And so just to give people an idea of what we dodged by not voting in the Conservatives, a little reminder of who their leader is still, I suppose. I pulled up this video here. Just again to remind people of why I'm grateful our battle is with Mark Carney and not Pierre Poilievre right now.
Israel must be able to prevent Iran from using nuclear weapons. If necessary, that means proactively striking Iranian nuclear sites and oil installations to defund the terrorist regime.
Yeah, remember when he said that he would actually like to strike the nuclear sites in Iran? I covered it at the time when I was pointing out how horrible he was. So again, just a reminder, this is why elections matter. This is who we could have had in power right now, is somebody that would have been like, oh, Donald Trump, you're going to bomb the Iranian nuclear sites? Well, why don't I just suck your toes while you do it?
If necessary, that means proactively striking Iranian nuclear sites and oil installations to defund the terrorist regime.
I think the idea of allowing a genocidal, theocratic, unstable dictatorship.
Oh, are you talking about Israel right here?
That is desperate to avoid being overthrown by its own people, to develop nuclear weapons, is about the most dangerous and irresponsible thing that the world could ever allow. And if Israel were to stop that genocidal, theocratic, unstable government from acquiring nuclear weapons, it would be a gift by the Jewish state to humanity.
So, if Pierre Poilievre was in power right now, he would be saying that Donald Trump bombing the Iranian nuclear sites, proactively bombing them, is a gift to humanity. Reminder, this is who we could have had in power right now. Somebody who would say that what happened right now is a gift to humanity. Just want to reiterate this.
The world could ever allow. And if Israel were to stop that genocidal, theocratic, unstable government from acquiring nuclear weapons, it would be a gift by the Jewish state to humanity.
Very stark reminder there of who Pierre Poilievre is, was, and the absolute bullet we dodged by not electing him into power, because he would have been there, like, you know, tanning Donald Trump's nuts. I don't want people to forget who these monsters are if they ever try to backtrack. Once again, it's like the dog that caught the car. Like, oh, we were all talking shit about it, but now that it's actually here, we didn't mean actual war. I don't want people to forget these monsters and what they actually said.
In a country like Canada, it should be, and it must be, safe to declare oneself a Zionist, Jewish or not. Zionism is not a dirty word or something anyone should be targeted for agreeing with. It is the belief, at its simplest, that Jewish people, like all peoples, have the right to determine their own future. Shortly after the Holocaust, Israel was established as a safe haven for Jewish people, a place to live in security and with dignity, a place to build a future without fear, threatening, harassing, and excluding Canadians because of their faith, their identity, or because
I don't need to see any more of that, but also
no one in Canada should ever be afraid to call themselves a Zionist. I am a Zionist.
we must never forget these monsters and what they said and what they stood for.